Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is She Empowered and I am Bernadette, and today I decided to share with you one of my passions. Um, Something I really enjoy doing in my free time is crocheting and cross stitch. And today I decided to share with you how to make the perfect granny square. This is something that anyone can learn. It's a beginner stitch. It's made up of a number of stitches, but it's a pretty easy one, and it's very versatile. A granny square you will see as I start building up the granny square, you can do a whole blanket out of the granny square, and you can make many little granny squares, attach them together, and you have a different effect, maybe using different colored yarn. And you can do so many stuff. It's not just a blanket, you can make bags, you can make a throw. There's numerous items which you can do out of this stitch. Okay, so let's get on with the tutorial. So first things first, I'm just using a scrap of yarn here, nothing special. What's important to note is that according to your yarn, you have to have the needle, the hook, hook. In this case, I'm using a 4mm, but don't worry about it, because when you buy the yarn, you'll have a piece of paper attached to your yarn, which will tell you exactly what size of hook you should be using. So that shouldn't be a problem, just in case you're a beginner and you have no idea of what hook to buy according to the yarn you have. Okay, so let's start. First of all, I do the starting stitch around my finger. Let me show you that. I don't know what it's called, but I always do that, and I leave a little bit of a trail, because then I will stitch this back into the actual square. So we start with 4 chains. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, at the end of the 4th chain, what you're going to do is slip stitch into the very first one. A slip stitch is literally you're pulling through the yarn. Something got caught there. Oops. You're literally pulling it through. Okay, this decided to. Come on. As you can see, sometimes just there, and you create your little square. Sorry, circle. Right? Now, into this circle, we're going to work in 12 double crochets, or as some call them, trebles. Okay? So we're going to do 3 chain now, because that will be our first treble or double crochet. And then we're going to work into that same hole that we've created the first double crochet or treble. This first one, there. So we've created the first set there. And now we're going to chain 2. 1, let's do that again, 1 and 2. Now let me walk you through. So yarn over, hook into the middle of the circle, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through the other 2, and that makes your treble. Now you do another one, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, into the circle, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, and that gives you the second set. So we're going to have 4 sets of these, which will eventually, where we're making the chains, will eventually become your corners. So 1, 2 chain, and again we're making another treble, another treble, and a third treble or double crochet. There are 2 ways how to address this. 2 chains, and we're going to do the last set. I'm moving the stitches a bit apart. First treble, second treble, and third treble. Now the closing of the circle is going to be very important. Chain 2, and we slip stitch on the top of that third chain we did in the very beginning. We just slip that in there, and there you've got a perfect square. Can you see that? It's a perfect square, and you've got the corners here. So what I like to do to give me a more equal and nice finish is I turn the work round, and the first thing I do is go into that first space, pull through and slip stitch, okay, and I start working from there, and I do my 3 stitches which work as the first treble, okay. Then I do the next treble, and another treble. And what I like to do, not everybody does the granny square the same way, is that between, not within the spaces in the corners, but between, I don't do any chains. I find it to be a lot nicer like that. You will see it develop. Okay, so you're seeing that my yarn is slipping a lot off the hook. That is probably a sign that the hook is too small for the thickness of the yarn. That's another giveaway for you, but you still be able to work, so don't fret too much if you've got a hook somewhere running around in the house and you decide to use whatever you've got. You still manage, but it will be a little bit more tricky. So now we're working into a corner. We're doing the trebles. I'll explain as soon as I do this corner so that you can understand better. I'm constantly doing, so basically a granny square is made up of trebles and chains. That's it. That's all you need to know. So in that corner, where you have another corner there, another corner there, and another corner there, I've worked 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles. In between, no chains. I just go directly into that corner, pull through, and do my treble. And I continue. With the treble. And a third treble. I just love granny squares. What I enjoy doing is starting a granny square and literally keep on going round and round and round, and it will give me a blanket or a throw, and you can make it as big as you want. There's no limit. There's no limit at all. See how the yarn keeps slipping off the hook? That's because the hook is slightly smaller than it should be for this particular yarn. But as I said, I just picked whatever I had and I'm making it work. And now I'm working into the third corner, doing the first 3 trebles. The 2 chains, the next 3 trebles, 1, 2, and 3. No chains, because now I have come to the first corner where I've done the 3 chain, the 2 and the 2 trebles. So now no chain because I'm going into that corner. I carry on with the 3 trebles, so 1 or double crochet, whatever you want to call them, 2 and third double crochet. I chain 2 because I'm in that corner, and I slip stitch into the top of that third chain like that. Oops, let's do that again. There. And I'm sure you can see the square is, you can see the square coming out. Yes? Now I turn the work. I go into that corner, pull through, slip stitch, and do my 3 chain. 2 and 3, a treble, another treble, as I said. Now, since it's developing, we don't just have corners now, we have the middle piece here, the middle holes. But in here, when I'm crossing from the corner to this hole here, I don't do any chains. And I find some people do the chains in between, but I find that the final product looks way better. That's my opinion anyway. I'm into the corner now. I'm doing the first 3 trebles of that other corner. There. 2 chain, another 3 trebles, and into that middle hole there, 1, 2, and 3. Can you see the square coming out? And I like this method because, as I said, you don't see the edges where you're joining between one round and the next. And I find that it's a cleaner finish the way I do it, the way I turn the work round and work the slip stitch. And you just keep on going like this for as much as you want. There's no limit. So you see what size you want to attain, whether you want to do one square and join them all together, many little squares and join them together, or one big square that you keep on going round and round and round. I prefer one big square, to be honest. I find it quicker and smoother with not too many edging and attaching of one yarn to the other. So we continue working. I will continue doing this and I'll be back as soon as I have a decent sized square. So I've just finished the sample square, and you can see it's a perfect square. And if you let me make this a little bit closer so that you can see better. There. You cannot tell where one row ends and the other starts, and that's why I like this method, because when you attach from one row to the next, there is no distinction, and it just keeps on going. Now, what I like about the stitch is that it's very, very versatile, very versatile. You can do so much with it. You can do bags, you can do pockets, you can do pouches. I enjoy doing the blankets mostly and throws because, first of all, they're a lovely Christmas gift, and I wanted to show you, in fact, to give you an example. This is one that I've got. It's in pink, and I've done this grey edging just to give it a bit of a pop. And let me take you to the middle of it. There, that's the middle. I'm sure you can see the different rows. And you just keep on going and do it as large as you want to. And they're absolutely beautiful, and they make a beautiful Christmas gift, and I'm sure your loved ones would really appreciate, because this is not just like any Christmas gift that you just go out and buy. You have to do it yourself out of your precious time, and it's just beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and hopefully encourage you to try and do a little bit of crocheting. It's very, very, very relaxing. I find it helps me relax a lot. And at the same time, coming up with something productive and maybe even to give away as a gift. That's all I had for you today. Let me know if you have any questions about the stitches I was using, which were made up of the granny square. My granny square is made up of trebles or double crochets and chains. That's it. There's nothing complicated in it. If there was something that you didn't understand and you would like me to make an update on it, just let me know in the description down below. Thank you for stopping by, and until the next video, bye.